What do you, modified family? We are at Pat's house. We are going to start pulling his Type S motor, which is now my Type S motor. Now I gotta get this bad boy out safely. I have never done this. So luckily it's partially out. I'm not really sure what's holding this bad boy or what all we have to do, but I definitely want to get started today. My super big goal is that we get the transmission out. That would be ideal for me. And then I think it'd be enough for me to, at least to get started. So for us to get started, you got to give me 5 on my black hand side and let's go. All right, so this is what we have here. Pat has a lot of the stuff out of the way, which should make it pretty easy to get like all the wires unclipped, the intake manifolds over there, and a few of the other pieces. So we'll get that all collected in time. I think the VTEC solenoid is sitting right behind me, but it has all these pieces. We just gotta start pulling stuff, and I have absolutely no idea where to start. I don't know if you have to drop the subframe. I don't really know what the whole deal is. I did not watch any videos on this beforehand, like I should. So I'm just gonna start unplugging random stuff and getting it out of the way so we can get down to the nuts and bolts of this. I still don't have a tripod, and so we're just little gonzo style filming, just from any angle. Pat's working on some of the front stuff, trying to keep things together, just gently getting the harness off. Every time I see a plug, I'm just unplugging it. You know, it probably behooved me. Oh, that snapped. Oopsies. Well, that's going to be new, whatever that sensor is.
Oh, that's knock sensor.
That's a knock sensor. Well, yeah, it's just like a B-series, just in reverse. So I just snapped the knock sensor off. Some things are old. Like this plug is cracking a little bit, little boot on that starter. It would be really nice to take this apart without taking the transmission off, just so it comes in one piece. But then it's going to be harder for me to pick up without a cherry picker. Because I feel like I could pick up the transmission by itself, and I feel like me and Pat could lift the engine by herself, and I could take it to work. But we will definitely see. But yeah, just gently trying to get stuff off. Yeah, if you could unclip that from the back, because I'd like to be able to remount those things if possible.
Oh, this is zip tie. Cool.
Yeah.
Cut that bad boy.
Well, oh yeah, just cut that. Yeah. Yeah, I took off all the plugs that go to the coil packs. That's all over there, sitting there, and I slid them off all these. I don't know if my car even has these, but if it does, I'll be able to hang the engine harness back up. I need to get in the car. It's just, I'm sweating balls in here. It's hot just because it's summertime, and I should be able to slide those plugs out, and I also need the ECU. I could probably run my EP3 ECU, and I might have to at first, just for the pure fact of figuring out the immobilizer. Maybe I have to take the ignition from this one. I don't even know if the key for this one exists. So we'll figure that out. But right now we're just getting this motor out a little bit at a time. And once I get this to my work, I can get it like cleaned up. I can replace anything, because I know it's an absolute beast to get the starter out, because it's under the intake manifold, and the radiator and the condenser for the AC is all right here. But I think it's just held by that lower engine mount, that rear like T-bracket mount. I don't think it's a T-shape anymore. And then that. So it's suspended, and it's sitting on the subframe, I believe. That's how this works. I'm still learning a lot about this, but you guys are coming along for the ride. But yeah, I'm just periodically checking in. We've been working at this for like 15 minutes, so it's not been crazy. I asked Pat if he wanted gloves. I brought extra. He said he's good. He's rocking unprotected. I'm trying to keep my gloves from ripping. They usually rip within the first three to four bolts I take off. But it's moving along. We'll be back. All right, we're doing good. We got everything unplugged. Some things that happened. That's what I think we saw in the last video, where I tried to unplug the knock sensor and it snapped. But all the transmission stuff is separated. I separated these two hoses right here. That was the last thing holding it. I may have mashed this a little bit. Hopefully we can bend that back to shape gently. I took out the bolts that were holding this from the bottom. So now this is supported by the subframe, and then it's still connected on this mount and this front mount in a couple places, like here and there. Pat took off those two subframe bolts. I'm going to take off these two subframe bolts. We have 2 jacks, and hopefully without scrambling these eggs, we can let this thing down gently. Also not going to record that, because it's going to be like the Three Stooges with only 2 of us here.
Dude.
Didn't think that was going to work. It totally worked. I tried to time lapse that. I hope it came out good. Me and Pat just working our individual jacks down, down, down. So now the subframe and engine is on the ground. It came free from the one mount that was connected to the frame rail.
Still line.
Oh, crap. Yeah, there's one line still connected. Should we just cut that?
Yeah. No.
Okay, so here, let me flip this around. I forgot. I was taking that one assembly off. It's just that one line. That's a rubber hose. I'll just find something to cut that. But yeah, look, it's on the ground. Now we've got to jack the car up, and this motor should be clear. Yes, this is going better than I thought. I feel like every dude becomes a structural engineer when it's time to take out a motor. So we did not have a cherry picker, and so let's take it from the bottom. That's how. We used to take out the D series and the B series. So this is the car, this is the motor, it's out. Now, how the heck do I lift it into the back of the Honda Fit? That's the question. Like, rolling it was easy because Pat had 2 jacks, and we used the jacks, as you saw in the video before, to support the subframe. They took out the 4 subframe bolts, and once that was down, we jacked up the car and put larger jacks. And apparently there's no back wheels on this car, so it's also sitting on jack stands. So this became even more sketchy. So we just washed our fingers and toes. And yeah, we put heavy duty jacks in the front to replace the normal ones that were there. And then we just kind of worked it out slowly. And the only thing that we scraped the valve cover a real little bit, which I really want to be wrinkle red at some point. But yeah, it's still good. Just a little scrape as we were getting it past that piece of the frame. But yeah, the adventure begins now that it's out, to figure out how to get it like out of here. I might have to call a friend with a truck. My shop mechanic has my cherry picker, so if he has it, he might be able to come and lift it into the back of his truck, maybe. Something like that. I don't know, but I'm very stoked. I'll see what else we can do. We're collecting parts and getting them all ready to transport the stuff that we can lift. Like whatever Pat's holding. What is that thing?
Power steering.
Power steering. I think I got power steering. I don't know. We'll see. All right, Modified family, this is where I leave you. I was able to get the ECU out. It also had a little plug for a vehicle speed sensor from K20z1, because I believe this shell is a 2002, so says Patrick, but the motor is a 2005 or 2006 Type S motor, so it's a K20z1. I think the K20A3 is what Pat has in his Type S, because his is like a 2004 or 3. I think 2005 and 6 came with different ones. There's also a K20A3. I think I'm just trying to look at like the write-ups about this stuff. That's also a Type S version, as opposed to my K20A1, I think, which is like the worst one in my EP3. But it's neither here nor there. So I broke the knock sensor we saw in there, and I was reading AI telling me how to swap this thing, and it was saying you cannot use the Z1's knock sensor. So the one off my car should go on here. And then the vehicle speed sensor thing, I feel like mine will work with this, with that little K20z box that this came with. Now I gotta figure out how to lift this bad boy out of here. So that'll be a project for another day. And then I got my trunk all loaded up because the intake manifold and throttle body, I already have the exhaust manifold. I got that like a different day. What else did I get? The engine harness. It said on the write-up that I can use my EP3 one, and that would make things easier for me. So I will combine as much of the things as possible. I definitely just want to clean this up a bit and reseal the head and just anything else, redo the timing chain. Those are probably the things that are easier to do when it's out. And then redo the RTV on the oil pan. Pat said the clutch and flywheel should be good on this, so I'm not going to crack that thing open if I don't have to. And then I got to figure out how to wire in the 6th gear, because it has like a lockout that keeps you from going in there accidentally. And I'm hoping to make this California legal. So if I can go over to my car real quick with some of the stuff I have loaded up. Oh, okay. I got Pat's steering wheel, because I wanted to put this RSX steering wheel on the Honda Fit. I never use cruise control in this anyway. So if I can't hook it up or the airbag doesn't work, don't care. I want the sick ass steering wheel. It looks better than the one this car already has. Some different tensioners, mounts, VTEC solenoid. There's an intake manifold. This is all the stock stuff, because I want to make this California legal, but the thing that perplexes me is a modified ECU. It says Honda on it. It has like an access port. So I am hoping that I can pass referee with that, because I know for cars newer than 2000, you have to take it to Honda or Acura and have them look at your ECU to see that it's not modified, but having that extra port on there, if they ran it, it would probably come back as modified because it's got all these stickers on it. But I'll definitely see. They'll probably tell me no. I'll probably have to find a new ECU and ignition. So it'll probably turn into a rat's nest of other things I have to do. But once this motor is in and jamming, it should be absolutely amazing. Thank you for watching this video. I'm sorry it was chaotic. I've never pulled an engine out of this, nor has Pat. So we did it as a team, and I think it went really well. And it's just the lifting it into some vehicle to transport it to my work that's going to be the big deal. Thank you for watching this, everybody. Peace.